This is Omkar from Vijnana Bharati, Social Studies teacher. I am going to teach right now 10th class Social Studies, the first lesson, India Relief Features. Social Studies means the combination of 4 subjects. Number 1, Geography, number 2, Economics, and number 3, History, and number 4, Political Science or Civics. In paper 1, we discuss only 2 subjects, that is Geography part and Economics part. So Geography, Economics both are combined in paper 1. In paper 2, History part and Civics part. History, World History, Indian History, the combination we discuss in paper 2, and present contemporary issues we discuss in paper 2, as well as Indian government structure we will discuss in paper 2. And first of all, we start with the India Relief Features. It is a continuous part from 6th class to 10th class. Relief features we started from 6th class and we end from plus 2 level. So here we discuss the medieval part of relief features that we continued from 6th class, 7th, 8th and 9th and 10th class. And this remain part is we discuss in plus 1 and plus 2 level. So first of all, we talk about India Relief Features. Relief means here, number 1, physical features, or somebody will say geographical features. Relief features means physical features or geographical features of entire India. For example, I will question one thing to all the students. What that is? Physical features. We discussed in 6th class. Can you say physical features means? Everybody will think about rivers, mountains and plateaus, plains, deserts, volcanoes and series of different ranges of hills, mountains and all the things we discuss here in Indian point of view. First of all, we talk about India is a subcontinent. We know very well India is a subcontinent. In this subcontinent, what are the important features are there? From Jammu Kashmir to Kanyakumari and from Arunachal Pradesh to Gujarat, we discuss number of things. So first of all, we talk about India lies in which hemisphere? That is the point. Once again, I am saying that India lies in which hemisphere? It means generally in the textbook this point is given in wrong way, that is in northern hemisphere. You must be correct that one in the textbook also. What that is? India lies in northern hemisphere. So India is there in northern hemisphere with a certain degrees of longitudes and latitudes. First of all, we talk about the previous lesson. We know that in 9th class what that is Gondwana land, Angara land. This is divided by the Tethys Sea and everything we know. We recollect the things. India is a part of Gondwana. India is a part of Gondwana. You can fix in the mind. India is a part of Gondwana. Right now we talk about in India, North India and the South India both are divided with natural things, that is called Satpura range and Vindhya range. But from Vindhya range to Satpura range, from that area to up to Kanyakumari, the part, triangular part is there, that is called old land mass. In the history we discuss in the geography part, there the old landmass in the world, that is called Peninsular Plateau, that we discuss in our chapter. So first of all, we talk about physical features or the important features, that is India relief features. That is, how many relief features are there in India? The first one is the Himalayas and the second one is Indo-Gangetic Plain or Indo-Ganga Plain, and the third one is the Peninsular Plateau. This is the most important, I said just now. And the fourth one is The coastal plains. India is famous for coastal plains. From Gujarat to Kerala and one side, that is called west side, Arabian Sea side, and second one from Bay of Bengal side, that is Kolkata to, that's called West Bengal. West Bengal to up to Tamil Nadu region, there is a coastal line, biggest coastal line. We will discuss properly in our lesson. And fifth one, the desert or Indian desert. And last one, the islands. These are special features of India. Indian physical features. We can say Indian physical features, Indian geographical features. This is called India relief features. First of all, we talk about only one thing. What that is? That is Himalayas. This part is most important. Himalayas. భారతదేశానికి పెట్టని కోట వలె ఉన్న మహోన్నతమైన ఒక అద్భుతమైన దృశ్య కావ్యం ఏమిటంటే హిమాలయాలు. పెట్టని కోట వలె. We can't say in English. The same proverb we can't say in English. పెట్టని కోట వలె ఉండి శీతల గాలుల్ని ఆపుకుంటూ ఉండి మధ్య ఆసియా ఖండంలో నుంచి వచ్చే శీతల గాలుల్ని ఆపే ఏకైక కట్టడం లాంటిది ఏంటిది అని అడిగినప్పుడు మనం హిమాలయాలు చెప్పాలి. సో ఇవి దీన్ని ఇంగ్లీష్ నుంచి తెలుగు కాన్వర్జేషన్ చేయడం చాలా కష్టం. సో ఫస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఆల్ we talk about Himalayas. What is Himalayas? We will say. In Himalayas there are three types of forms are there. The first one is Greater Himalayas, and the second one is Lesser Himalayas, and the third one is Shivalik Range. Greater Himalayas, Lesser Himalayas, and Shivalik Range. Other names also there: Himadri, Himachal, and Shivalik Range. There is other names. And Greater Himalayas. What is the composition of Greater Himalayas? The Greater Himalayas are composed by glaciers, ice, and snow. We can't reach there. Nobody can move. Nobody can go there because of the temperature is in minus degrees, and moving glaciers. It means big size hills formed with ice and snow, which is moving slowly. So this is a very dangerous area, and nobody can move there because formed by glaciers and ice and the snow, and minus degrees are there. And next one, this is the birthplace of all types of perennial rivers. What the perennial rivers are there in India? That is a very, very important thing. What perennial rivers are there in India? Now, the Indus, the Ganga, and the Brahmaputra. Three are perennial rivers which born in Greater Himalayas. The Ganga, the birthplace is Greater Himalayas, and the Indus, birthplace is Greater Himalayas. We talk separately about the things in fifth lesson. And the third one is Brahmaputra, the longest river, and which is going towards the other nations, later come to our nation, that is the Brahmaputra. And three rivers which is born in Greater Himalayas. The height of the Greater Himalayas is 6,100 meters. It will come in the 1 mark question. The height of Greater Himalayas is 6,100 meters. And second point, here there is no vegetation, no more trees, no more plants. So this is the nature of Greater Himalayas. And the second one, what that is? Lesser Himalayas. The Lesser Himalayas height is 3,700 meters to 4,500 meters, because it is composed nearly 2,400 kilometers. In some area the width is very wide, and some area the width is somewhat narrow and somewhat a small one. And in last Arunachal area it is composed by just hills only. And later, Lesser Himalayas are also known as Himachal. This is most important. Himachal. And height of Lesser Himalayas is 3,700 meters to 4,500 meters. And important points here, in Lesser Himalayas, valleys are composed. Valleys. Valleys means V shaped places. Between the two hills areas, this is one hill and this is the one hill. Between the area, this is called valley. This is called valley. Valleys are most useful for growing of fruits like apples and citrus fruits, and these are all this type of farms which is developed in valley area. So valleys, number of valleys are there here. Kulu Valley, Kangra Valley, Manali Valley, famous valleys which we can see in lesser Himalayas. And next one is dunes are very famous. Dunes means the area between lesser Himalayas and the Sivalik range. Dunes, I said here dune area. Dune area means the area between lesser Himalayas and Sivalik range. This is the flat area and cool area. Several lakhs of the families are migrated and living in particular area because of climatical condition. India is a Switzerland, second Switzerland. Why? Because of this type of dunes and this type of valleys. And next one, famous hill stations also located here in lesser Himalayas. What are the famous hill stations? Number one, Simla. Number two, Mussoorie, Nainital and Ranikhet. These places, hill stations. Hill station means in summer time all areas are getting heat, but here because of elevation from the sea level, nearly I think 900 to 2300 meters height is there. So that's why most of the foreigners will come and stay here at the time of summer. We are getting foreign exchange a lot because of the hill stations, and the hill station question repeatedly coming to our final examinations. Hill station has a 2 marks question. It is a 2 marks question. Hill stations. And third part is Shivalik range. Shivalik range. It is a foot of Himalayas. We can say it is a foot of Himalayas. Simply we say foot of Himalayas. Yes. Foot of Himalayas is a Shivalik range. So here different types of hills are there. These hills having different names in different areas. Jammu Hills in Jammu Kashmir area, and Mishmi Hills in Arunachal Pradesh area, Kachar Hills in Assam area. Different names are there. This is the most important part in lesson number 1, that is Himalayas. The second part is Indo-Gangetic Plains or plain. It means from west part of India to up to east part of India, the part is composed by Indo-Gangetic plain. Originally it is not correct form, but because Indus river, Ganga river and Brahmaputra river formed a plain area in North India, that is called Indo-Gangetic plain area. Originally we can say Indo-Gangetic and Brahmaputra plain area, but given here is Indo-Gangetic plain area because of majority part is Indo-Gangetic plain is there and the less part is there Brahmaputra part, so that's why it is called Indo-Gangetic plain area. The Indus river, the birthplace is Greater Himalayas, I said already, and it moves towards the west side, and the little part is going towards the Jammu Kashmir and later Himachal Pradesh, and afterwards it entered into the Haryana, and afterwards it entered into the Punjab, later it moves towards the Pakistan. So less part of Indus moves towards just 4 states, afterwards it moves towards Pakistan. The majority part Indus river goes to Pakistan area. Without Indus river, the Pakistan changed into the desert area. Suppose we are ready to construct a number of dams and to stop the water and store the water in North India near Jammu Kashmir, otherwise in Punjab, then the Pakistan was changed into the desert. So Pakistan, based upon Indus River, that the birthplace is Greater Himalayas. And here Indo-Gangetic Plain means, first of all we talk about Indus River. Indus River part is there in India, the majority part Punjab. Here the important things, 5 tributaries are flowing. The Indus tributaries, 5 tributaries, Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, BS and Satluj. 5 Indus tributaries are flowing towards the Punjab. So Panch-ab flowing area, that is called Panch-ab, means in Hindi Panch, 5 rivers. Ab means rivers. 5 rivers flowing area. So here we can see 5 rivers flowing area Punjab. It means between the flowing area fertile land is there. This is called Doab. Doab is coming for 2 marks question for final examination. It means a fertile land between 2 rivers. Fertile land between 2 rivers is known as Doab. Number of Doabs we can see in Punjab. Only one Punjab we can see. Suppose in Andhra Pradesh, between Godavari and Krishna area, Doabs are there. It means Antarvedi. We can talk in Telugu in Antarvedi. No one can use this area. Antarvedi. It means fertile land between 2 rivers, Krishna and Godavari area, like this Jhelum, Chenab area. So Doab very very famous. And later, Indus River formed a plain area, that is a fertile land area, that is majority part is there in Punjab and Haryana. And here the lands are used for agriculture purpose, majority lands for only paddy and wheat. Here because of 365 days water is flowing in the rivers, that's why they are using 3 types of crops, and hybrid seeds are using here and exported worldwide, and they are getting highly income. The Punjab people getting highly income because of water content is available 365 days, and they produce a number of agriculture goods and exported worldwide and getting lot of income. For example, we compare all the states, Punjab is a high income state at present now and later. And second one, Gangetic Plain. The Gangetic Plain was formed by River Ganga. River Ganga and its tributaries, Kosi, Mahi, Gaggar, Teesta, these are all number of rivers, tributaries are there for Ganga. The Ganga river started place is Greater Himalayas. I am not saying about the birthplace right now. I will discuss this part in 5th lesson. Rivers and sources, we will discuss there. All birthplaces. And Ganga and its tributaries are formed Greater Plain, that is rice bowl in North India. Without Ganga river, the total North India is look like a desert. And here Ganga, which is starts from Uttar Pradesh state to it is going towards Uttar Pradesh to Bihar, Bihar to West Bengal, and it joined with the Bay of Bengal. So the mouth of a river Ganga is Bay of Bengal, and we can say Ganga river in West Bengal, that is called Hooghly River, and it goes towards, one part is goes towards Bay of Bengal, another part is going towards the Bangladesh. In Bangladesh, the river Ganga is known as River Padma. So this is also very important one. River Ganga is known as in West Bengal Hooghly. That is 1 mark question. Number of times they asked River Ganga in West Bengal, Hooghly River, and River Ganga in Bangladesh is known as Padma River. So that is, so North India is formed because North India plains are formed because of Ganga River and its tributaries. And later the last one is Brahmaputra River. So Brahmaputra River, I said Brahmaputra River, And this river, which is started in Greater Himalayas and continuously flowing towards Tibet, China, and enter into the again India in Arunachal Pradesh. It takes hairpin bend curve in Arunachal Pradesh and enter into the Arunachal Pradesh. Later it starts to divide two parts and again join in Assam. They are formed as a Brahmaputra. And Brahmaputra having two tributaries in Assam. The two tributaries names are called Dibang and Lohit. Dibang and Lohit. Two rivers are there. I mean, two tributaries are there for Brahmaputra, and it having little bit a plain area. So this is a North India plain area that is composed by these perennial rivers Indus, Ganga and Brahmaputra. Students, you can recollect these ideas once again and you can practice in HW book or in MT book, and you thorough it. You get it a lot of marks from this point. Without knowing of this, we can't continue further other lessons. So thank you.